Oh, shoot. I should probably post that I'm live. Get your water. I just went live, by the way. Okay, we're live. Stream up. Post up. I don't know how to. I don't know what I'm doing. Let's. We're off mode. We're back on mode. Hi, baby cat. Let's keep this on for now, because it's gonna keep my head warm. Because I'm a little cold. Only in my hands, though. Gotta warm up the hands. Who's... Can't see the rolls or no. Oh. Hang on a second. Permissions. Everyone can view. Oh. Can't see the roles or announcements tab. Roles. View. Announcements. Permissions. View. Hey, Knife, can you look into the permissions? Daft can't see roles or announcements right now. And I think we may need to add another role so that people can actually like view things, but I don't know. Is it because I moved the chatting thing? Just take a look with me. We're troubleshooting right now, apparently. But the Isaac will flow. The Isaac will flow today, I promise. Okay, if you're looking at it, I'll leave it to you. Anyways, let's get going with some Isaac today. It's been a minute since I've played. What do I want to do? I'm still... I don't know. Okay, well... That may have to wait until post-stream then. It's always something. It's always something. Thanks for stopping by, though, Daft. I will figure it out. I will figure it out later. Let's get started with some Isaac. I think I want to talk about the upcoming movie releases that I'm gonna see. Because recently, I saw 28 Years Later, and that movie is very good. And then we have 28 Years Later Part 2, The Bone Temple, which is a terrible name. I think that is one of the worst names for a media property you could give it. Just like something that's already very long, and then they took out the Part 2 to be fair. Okay, but 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple is still a terrible name. 28 Years Later, Part 2, The Bone Temple. It's just a mouthful. 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple is still too long. 28 years later is a title. The Bone Temple is a title. 28 years later, The Bone Temple is a young adult novel series in which the protagonist, the young female protagonist, falls in love with two men that love them very much, but are two very opposite personalities. A Song of 28 Years Later and The Bone Temple. Yeah, exactly. Like, there's just, it's too long. Because of the all shitty romances that are X and Y of Z. The. Hang on, I'm percolating something here. Court of Thorns or Roses or whatever the fuck. Yeah. There's a lot of that stuff. What was I gonna say? Where was I going with this? The 28 years later of a Bone Temple. Anyways, the first movie was really good. I saw a lot of people on Reddit were like, I hated the ending. It's like, doesn't matter. The whole thing is supposed to be a weird ride. Danny Boyle is a weird guy, and I really like the way that I just really liked 28 Years Later. I went into it expecting like, oh, this can't be that good, right? It's been so long since they've actually done a movie in this franchise. Are they gonna have the sauce? Because like 28 days later is good. 28 weeks later, I saw that after seeing 28 years later, 28 weeks later, 28 years later. And I gotta say, yet I refuse to rewatch it with you. We will rewatch it. Don't you fret. We need to actually dedicate some time to sitting down and watching movies. I think we need to have like a dedicated movie day this year. Maybe like 2 days a week that we watch movies, because there's a lot of stuff on my why am I doing that? There's a lot of stuff on my watch list that I want to see. It's like stuff that I haven't seen before. Because I know there's good movies. I know there are good movies, in spite of what one might think based off of the box office. Good movies do exist. And like I said, 28 Years Later is quite good. Or at least I liked it. Which is more than enough for me. But yes, we're going to see Iron Lung as well. I'm excited to see Iron Lung. Iron Lung seems like an interesting idea. That one is Markiplier's big movie that he's making based off of the hit horror indie video game, Iron Lung. I'm excited to see that one. Because if nothing else, I expect it to be weird. Two of diamonds. Okay. We'll hold off on those for a minute. Death card, the moon. The moon? Ooh, okay. Yeah, that's why we hold off on the two of diamonds. What's our effective gain here? We get up to 60-ish coins? Yeah, I think we do that. 68? 68! Wait. How many? Let's do 150. Black candle. Awesome. We'll also buy this. Probably the key. Iron Lung. I'm excited for Iron Lung. What was I saying about it? It's going to be different. That's what I'm almost assured of. I'm not 100% on it, but I mean, Markiplier got big doing horror films. Horror. He's an orator, right? He got big doing horror. I think he understands horror at this point. Supposedly, it was one of the death here. Supposedly, it's the movie that's used the most fake blood of all time. I assume because they fill a room with fake blood, whatever that room may be. I haven't seen enough of Iron Lung. I watched a little bit of Germa play it, but I think that may be one of those games that could be fun to check out. I mean, it doesn't seem like it's particularly full of depth. It seems interesting though. The premise is at least neat. The whole you are going to you are doomed to explore a planet for other people. Feels very 40K almost. Tears down. That's not very good. Probably. Well, never mind. Tears up. We're fine. One moment. Probably gonna need to refinagle things in the Discord server. Anyways. I mean, indie horror has always been a genre that people have loved. Like, the big horror movies, most of the time started out as indie horror, and then just kind of evolved into something that was completely nonsensical. I don't remember if this does the whole floor. Yeah, we'll do it. Ooh. It does do the whole floor. Whoops. Oh well. Yes, like Friday the 13th, that movie kind of sucks. Having seen it, not my favorite. I should have picked these up instead of rolling them. Oh well. Yeah, Friday the 13th is not particularly good. The second one's supposedly very good. Haven't seen it. I can't be bothered with most of the bad horror movies. Like, there's only so much you can franchise something out before you get diminishing returns, right? Like what, we're on Scream 7? It's a parody of itself at this point. Indie, not indie, just they keep beating the dead horse forever. Yeah, it's if it makes money, if it makes money once, surely it will continue to make money, right? That's how that works. I mean, have you ever made money like a movie? I don't think so. Have you ever tried to have a creative mind like half of the people in Hollywood? Well, maybe less than half. Have you ever tried to have a creative mind unlike Hollywood? I don't know. I don't know anything about anything, but oh, that's a lot of health down. Oh well, I have 9 lives now. Um, yes, like Scream is just a parody of itself. It was a genre or a franchise spawned making fun of other horror franchises, but like then again, that's a scary movie actually. Scary Movie also did the same thing until the fourth one where they ran out of ideas and also like quality writing become the mirror. Exactly. They became the mirror. The least interesting mirror possible. I find a lot of whatever goes on in Hollywood to be terrible. Yeah, just kill me. I'll get my free items, please. Or whatever items I can get. That's what 9 lives are for, right? You get more lives. I have 8 more to use. Well, 1 life for a penny. When you have enough of them, does it matter? Who cares? But yes, Hollywood. I feel like lately Hollywood is just full of a complete lack of talent and/or, oh, there's definitely talent there. I should rephrase that. It feels like a complete lack of people that want to make what they're making. I don't find there to be a whole lot of meritorious activity within the writing rooms or the directing. Just whatever goes on behind the scenes. You know what? I don't want to actually do this. I will not be following Death List on this one. It just feels like there's nothing actually interesting going on with a lot of the writing. Like, there are good movies that are coming out. I know that there are. I just feel like I don't hear about them until they're out of the theaters and, like, not even on streaming. Do I hold potato peeler? I think I do. I think I do want to hold potato peeler. I'm also going to donate more to the machine real quick. 200. Okay. Perfect. Wow, we donated quite a bit this time. Always glad to see that. But yes, I wish that we could get more creatives that are just absolutely insane. I find the product, well, the art that they make to be more interesting. Give us more Swearies. Give us more Swearies and Suda51s in the West. I feel like we don't have enough unhinged artists like that. We're certainly lacking in that department. I would really love if we would have less people like Tarantino, though. That guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Like, he made some fun movies, but I feel like he's not a guy that I want to hang out with. What's that Fiona Apple quote? I once did cocaine with Quentin Tarantino and somebody else, and that's what got me to quit cocaine. Is that how that quote goes? I mean, I don't think cocaine is a drug of my kind of demeanor. Not really something for me. He called it an excruciating night. Every addict should get locked in a private theater with Quentin Tarantino and PTA on coke. They'll never want to do it again. Yeah, that tracks. Paul Thomas Anderson, yeah. I was like, who's PTA? I put it together. Put it together right as you typed it. But yes. Get the people that love talking about their hyperfixation locked in the same room. I can only say poor Fiona Apple. I like the music that she makes as well. Or at least I've enjoyed the music of hers that I've listened to. I'm not uh I'm not a huge music buff. I wish I was. I know I could be more of a music head, but I just I spend a lot of time in my own head so that I can try and formulate more of what I'm doing and where I'm trying to go. At least that's what I want to do. So that's where I try and leave a little bit more space for creativity in my own brain in that way. I do need to listen to more music. You are, in fact, a music head. Were you a Pitchfork person back in the day? I can't remember if that was something that we've previously discussed. I know you've at least read some Pitch. My friends were. Yeah. Did that rub off on you at all? I feel like it did. Your music taste influenced mine. Yep, there we go. I mean, I don't think I have ever really been a huge music head. Most of that was because I didn't really have a whole lot of access to my own music. My Rip to that life, by the way. I was just kind of subject to my dad's music, and then I didn't bother searching out music because I was like, if all music is like this, I don't want anything to do with it. Uh, Data Peeler does give me damage. Am I gonna sacrifice a couple of lives for this? I think I am. Do 3? That'll be a good DPS upgrade for now. But yes, I listened to a lot of my dad's music growing up, and it was not my favorite. He ended up. He was the kind of guy that would go to the library and pick up a bunch of the music and just grab whatever and then put it on his iPod. So he had, let's say, eclectic music tastes. I also have pretty wide ranging music tastes, but not quite in the same way. Give me these pills. Shot speed down. Come on. Lockdown, man. Listen to a lot of my dad's music, but it was sort of timely because his music tastes were a lot of people who were influenced by the early 2000s. Is synergized. Yeah, that is musical synergy. I love musical synergy. Like, I'm a big Sublime head. Anybody that knows me knows that. I They were a band that I just listened to. Like I'd heard a lot of the radio hits, and I was not the biggest fan of Santeria, but what I got is like, you know, one of my favorite songs. Is it the best song? No, I will own that. But it's fun, and I want my music to be fun, at least most of the time. It's important to me to go to music for fun as well as reflection. Because let's be real, it's everything. Music is art. It it runs the gamut. Anybody, any music can be art. Any art can be music, etc. Although I think a lot of what influenced my, I won't say distaste, but lack of care was that I just listened to a lot of the radio because, like, driving in the car growing up, everybody, we'd listen to like 6 radio stations, and all of them were dad rock, and all of them, I think, kind of sucked. So we'd listen to, got on that iPod train very fast. Yeah, my parents I got an iPod at like 12, but I got a touch and I watched YouTube videos walking into the spikes. I watched YouTube videos on it, and that's pretty much how I evolved into the person that I am. Before that, you had a CD player. I also had a CD player, but I didn't have CDs. My family was kind of a weird family unit in that we didn't listen to music together except for in the car, and the music that we listened to in the car uh, sucked. Like, I don't think any of us liked it. CDs from the library. Yeah, I should have spent more time trying to go to the library. I could have been Matilda, damn it. Instead, I became a degenerate. I became a degenerate that only knows like 6 things. One of them being video games. Who cares about video games? Certainly not anybody on twitch.tv, right? I mean, why would you? Video games? Those are for nerds. Nobody's ever listened to video games. Listened to? Played video games. Really, that's not a cultural touchstone. I will pop this open. But yes, I was not a music person. I listened to Sublime at like 14-ish, 14 up, and it just kind of stuck with me. What else did I do? I could have gone to the library more, that's for sure. I could have gone to the library to pick out books. Because, like, I've been reading again. I've been going to the library and reading a lot. I got my library card again. Not card again, but card again. And I've been having a lot of fun with that. I find just popcorn fiction to be my favorite. I used to read a lot more as a kid, too. I would go to the book, not the book, but the library and check out books, check out whatever I could. Oh, why did I take Cursed Eye? What have I done? Alas. You're reading a lot now. Yeah, I've made it through I think 6 different books in the last like month or so. Less than a month. Necronomicon has appeared. Yippee! I hate Cursed Eye. Why did I take this item? Magic Mush is nice. But yes, been reading a lot. I made it through 6 fantasy books. Been reading Brandon Sanderson. Been reading Harry Dresden stuff. I've been reading the son of Jim Butcher's stuff. James Butcher. James J. Butcher, according to the front cover. Been reading his series a little bit. What is it called? The Unorthodox Chronicles. It seems interesting. It's it's not my favorite, but I feel like it's capturing the what I would describe as Harry Potter vibe without it being Harry Potter. It's more like if Harry Potter were a buddy cop and written better. I'm very much not the biggest fan of Harry Potter. I just think that J.K. Rowling's works are not particularly. Why did I walk into that? I feel that J.K. Rowling's works are just not that compelling. And even as a child, I was like, Harry Potter 1, 2, and 3 are fine. And then 4 onwards, I was just like, this kind of sucks. And yet she's a billionaire, so what do I know? Am I contrarian? Yes. I'm not just contrarian, though. I promise. I I don't know. I feel like there's definitely much better fiction out there than Harry Potter, and the Harry Potter phase, like, craze has been over for, like, a decade now. Why are we still rehashing this stuff again? I feel like a lot of young adult fiction also is trying to sort of capture that same Harry Potter vibe again, too. Or at least capture the zeitgeist of it. I think a lot of it is that there's not a ton of media for kids, like specifically directed towards kids slash all ages, that's any good. Like Hunger Games is pretty good. I don't know about why am I doing that? Oh, okay. I'll take a free teleport. Yeah, Hunger Games. At least it captures a lot of emotion. It captures the fact that we are in a dystopia. That's kind of where a lot of fiction has gone now. It's all gone into dystopia because you made a Super Meat Boy. There we go. Potato peeler is the easiest way to do that, I guess. Or B-Rev early, but I'll take this. But yes, everything is dystopia. Everything has become. Everything has become. Everything sucks. How do we fight the system that we're placed in? And I wonder why. Wonder why that could be. Certainly, certainly not because that's the feeling that's captured in the zeitgeist, right? People feel good about Western society for the most part, right? Like there aren't a ton of issues, especially in America. Eat cursed eye. I certainly do. Nervous laughter. Yeah, exactly. I feel so good about everything going on. Haha, haha. I mean, I'm not going to talk too much about that. People don't need more of the doomerism. Why am I What am I doing? I just hold down my button. I don't like thinking. Let me just bang on my drum all day. Let me bang on my Isaac drum, aka my keyboard. But yes, uh, like Maze Runner, that's another series that was around when I was growing up, or like in the last decade, which is kind of when I was growing up. I don't know. I don't feel like I'm grown up at all. I'm simply older. I'm older and don't know what to do about it, really. I'm trying to be a slightly different person than I was, I guess. That's where we're aiming with this one. Every day I grow different. Maybe older. Does it really matter? Oh, more tears up. Okay. Where am I going with this? We need more fiction that is actually like fantastical and fun for children. I'm done with the dystopia. I live that. We don't need to continue pushing it. Let's have everybody become Detroit Become Human. Is that where I'm going with this? God, I hate David Cage. That guy sucks. Everything about everything about him comes off as pretentious and also like illegitimate. Like all of Heavy Rain is based off of Seven. Uh, Omicron is garbage. It's just bad. That's not based off of anything other than I think his own internal works. But whatever's going on there is not very good. It's very lacking in the substance department. I think David Cage just writes to be a creep. That's very much the vibe that I get from him. It's he got into writing and like he says I'm an auteur because he thinks it. He goes, yes, this will get me pussy. It's like, no, dude, you're just a creep. You don't have you don't have original ideas. Your works are derivative. All that you do is steal other people's stuff. Because as I was saying, Heavy Rain just steals from Seven. Beyond Two Souls, I don't know if that steals from anything, but I wouldn't be surprised. Where else? Where else does he steal? Right, drinking some Respect Women juice first. Yeah. Unfortunately, he's a misogynist too. He's a homophobe and a misogynist. What a great combo. It's like, where am I going with this? Is that a true combo? Would we say that homophobe misogynist is a true combo? Oh my god. I hate Cursed Eye. Anyways, Fahrenheit is a rip of the Matrix, and it's a bad one because it's the whole like you're special because of a prophecy. You were born. He doesn't know what to write. He doesn't know what to say. Like he pulls these messages from these other media properties and he contorts it. He twists it into his own little image that he contorts it into his own little image that is almost always opposite to what the meaning of the original property is. The whole point of the Matrix is that they still don't know which one of them the prophecy applies to, like the whole time. That makes sense. But David Cage saw it and thought, kung fu movie. I know kung fu or whatever. And it makes it less interesting to say the least. Like the Matrix is good. The Matrix has things to say. The Wachowskis. I mean, I saw Sense8. I thought Sense8 was quite good. Oh, and that's a lie, and they're in a loop or whatever. Hey, don't spoil that. Nobody needs to know the other Matrix movies. Nobody has ever seen the other Matrix movies, and for reasons. That's a lie. I know that I know that people regard them well-ish. Sorry for spoilers for a movie that's 22 years old. Look, people online are crazy. Ooh, that's Guppy. Oh, that's Turbo Guppy. Um, do I want two Meat Boys? You know what? Let's just make sure that we can win this run. Wait, I had... Why am I taking damage like that? I'm being a big cat. Call me a tiger the way that I'm a big cat. It very much gives, I'm a, I'm just a silly little cat vibes. The type of small child to say yeah. Yes, Isaac is very much a say yeah kind of child. Like, yeah. What was I saying? Oh yeah, people on GameKid, yay! People on the internet are crazy about spoilers, even though they've had every opportunity to see a movie their entire life, but then they get spoiled for it. And it's like, okay, well, I don't think that's really my fault. I don't think it's my fault that you haven't seen The Matrix at this point. The Matrix or what else? What's a big one nowadays? Everybody's like, "Oh yeah, I love this movie. It's my favorite movie that I've never seen." Everyone should have the same life experience as me. What would I know? Okay, boomer. If Terminator 2 isn't your favorite movie, I don't want to know you. Or whatever. Terminator 2 Judgment Day is my favorite movie. I mean, Terminator 2 is good. I'm just picking a movie out of a hat. Um, what's the other movie? So Aliens is also one of the best movies I've ever heard. I've never seen it, but I appreciate people who haven't seen it. But I'm claiming gesture privilege. No, no, I get jester's privilege. Nobody gets jester's privilege but me. If you tell a joke and I don't get it instantly, that doesn't count. Or whatever. Oh, Transcendence. Okay. Bodiless cat. If you make a joke and I don't laugh, then you don't get jester's privilege. Is that how that works? Is that how people do it? You gotta. I appreciate the attempts at comedy as long as they're not um, entirely off base. But what if I laugh? If you laugh, then the jester's privilege, of course. Somebody has to laugh. If you don't make yourself laugh, then what's the point? Why even tell jokes? You just don't end up telling jokes exclusively for yourself. Otherwise, you can't be surprised when people don't appreciate your art. Yeah, I'm of the opinion that you gotta. The game looks completely insane again. This means you're winning, right? Yeah, yeah. Things are getting wacky. We're fine. The banter can flow. The spice must flow. The banter must flow. You know, I still haven't seen any Dune property, and I don't know if I care to or to read the books at this point. The giant levitating cat head must flow. The flies must flow. Alright, well, that's another win secured in the books. Let's go. Ipecac. It's a good unlock. How many more art runs do I need to win? I think a couple more. So we'll just send it in. Curse of the Blind. Jacob's Ladder. Okay. So we were just talking about movies. I don't think... Are the Timothée Chalamet Dunes any good? Like, I haven't seen the guy's acting prowess at all, but I'm inclined to say I don't really want to. Can't answer that. I mean, I can't either. That's part of the thing, huh? Why am I walking into the fires? What am I doing? Only seen the David Lynch Dune. Isn't the David Lynch Dune regarded as not very good? Why am I walking into these hits? It's kind of bad, yeah. I mean, that makes sense. I need to watch more Lynch flicks. I need to see like Eraserhead and the other notorious Lynch flicks. Mulholland Drive. I mean, he passed away last year. I feel like I gotta at least see what kind of crazy shit he was up to. I guess, I guess I'll see the David Lynch Dune first. Give myself a good baseline on that. Isn't Sting in that one? Talk about a guy who has not been very relevant lately. Couldn't tell you like one thing that happens in that movie. Yeah, yeah, that makes sense to me. I think. I don't think. Let's be real. I've never once thought in my life. I don't know. I think I gotta see Lynch movies. The guy passed away last year, and I gotta check out his shtees at the very least. Just Well, I haven't seen any of his movies. I read his interview, or a couple of his interviews, and I'm like, this guy seems like a complete wacko, and I kind of love that. I want more wacky people like that making art and getting big in Hollywood so that we can have more interesting stuff. I want to see interesting art at the very least. I don't need it to make me comfy or cozy or anything. Art should make you feel things, and I want to feel things other than just, okay, well, that was boring. I feel like a lot of movies I've walked away from and I've been like, why did I waste my time? Why did I waste my time watching that? What was the point of all that? What is the most compelling movie that I've seen? Uh, hmm. I mean, I really like Inception era Chris Nolan. Is it Chris Nolan? Yes. Right? I'm having a hard time keeping. Yeah, I'll take Strange Attractor. Why not? I'm having a hard time keeping names straight in my head nowadays. I feel like I've reached overflow on that. I don't understand. Right? Okay, Chris Nolan. Yes. I feel like Inception is compelling. What other thrillers? Ryan Johnson is still making some good stuff. The Knives Out franchise. That's one that I don't mind continuing to get. Oh, did I that right here? I don't mind getting more in that franchise. I feel like that's an interesting detective series. What are the other ones? Murder on the Orient and Murder on the Nile. Death on the Nile. That's the one. Like the Agatha Christie ones are kind of fun. But I think it's just because we have phenomenal acting going on now. Maybe less so in Death on the Nile. Gal Gadot was not. Is she? Is she still regarded as like a good actress? Kal-El, no. That's all I need to see to be like, okay. Oh man, I fucking hate Zack Snyder. That reminds me. That guy that guy only knows. I don't even know if I could say that he knows substance in any form. He only knows he could direct a good music video, and I think that's the best I could give him cuz anything else that he's done sucks. Like 300 is a touchstone. Watchmen is a touchstone, but not for reasons that it should be. Like 300 was just kind of like exactly the era to have that kind of movie do well. Watchmen is fine. I feel like the comics would be better, but having only seen the movie, I was like, what the hell is Zack Snyder doing? You went to see both of those in theaters? What were the theater experiences like for that? I can't. Comic is so much better. That's kind of what I would expect of Watchmen. Yeah. Doesn't 300 have a comic too, though? I mean, I'm inclined to say that it would be better than 300 was like a normal movie. Yeah. Yeah, that tracks. 300 is fine. It's one of those that I watched on TV later, and I don't think it's one of those movies that does well as a on TV movie. I see Watchmen with my friends and they were all annoyed. They've read it too. Ah, that makes so much sense. I mean, I feel like comic movies are. We're kind of done with all of that, right? Are people still actually going to the theaters to see Marvel movies? I feel like that era is over. I haven't read the 300 comic though. I don't like Frank Miller. I've heard uh I've heard numerous things about Frank Miller, and I don't remember any of them. I've heard too many things about too many comic writers, or like just writers in general, that everybody's like, these guys are not very good. And I feel like that's a lot of comics. I keep seeing stuff on Paul from Spider-Man. I keep seeing people be like, why the hell does this guy exist? Why is he important in any capacity? And why would you write this character into Spider-Man? Please, can I have good Spider-Man? I mean, Spider-Man 3 was fine. Again, Ryan Johnson still did good with it, I think. Right? He directed that one, right? I'm so bad at keeping facts straight in my head at this point in my life. I need to write things down and then be like, okay, you know this, this, and this. I'm going to become Memento. Don't believe his lies. Don't believe my own lies. What was I saying? Like, the Amazing Spider-Man reboots. Ain't no spoilers. That's not spoilers. That's completely out of context. No one understands what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen Memento, you're gonna be like, okay, I don't know what that means. Hell, I haven't seen Memento. I've just seen that posted online as a meme. Which, let's be real, meme culture is probably terrible at spoiling. You haven't? I have. We'll add it to the list. The ever-growing list of movies that I need to see. They keep making them. I mean, what am I supposed to do? There's only so many things that I can consume. Only so many consumables. Consumability? Only so much consumability in this world, I guess. I mean, that is true. There is an infinite amount of media at this point. Might as well do what you want to do. It's kind of secularized. Everything is its own corner of the internet now, too. Which is fine, I guess. It'd be nice if we could find community outside of online spaces. We need more third places again. Yes, I will hamper on this. Hamper? I will harsh. Where am I going with these words? I will continue to say this because I believe it to be true. We need more third spaces that are not just online. We need places to meet outside. I don't want to spend money just to exist outside of my house that I pay for, or my living space that I pay for. I wish to be able to do whatever I want. Maybe not that, but I wish to explore. I wish to exist in the world outside of a screen. Or at least give me the option to. It's like, I don't know, I spent most of my adolescence online. It's how I ended up how I am. Poisoned by internet culture. Sorry, I'm just thinking about Rage comics again. Those things, for a while I was like, these things suck. Why were these popular? And now I'm getting to the point where I'm like, yeah, give me Rage comics again. Give me Rage comics. Give me little drawings that people do and have become online pop culture. I'd be fine with that. Bring that back. What are the best Rage comics? Rage comic tier list. I'm blanking now. What is it? All of the whatever? All of the things. The guy with the broom, I think. Derpina? Derp and Derpina? I mean, that's the evolution of art and communication, baby. I hate even hearing these words. Bring them back, please. I mean, like, Sigma and whatever is fine, but I'm Sigma, I'm aura farming. It all means nothing anyways. I think my biggest issue with pop culture now is just that whatever gets popular is just like stolen AAVE, which is wild to me. Like, there exists so much racism. That's the internet for you. Yeah, it used to be like the nerds. The nerds were the ones that decided everything. And I'm not saying that that was a good thing. Now it's like 12-year-olds because they're the ones that can spend the most time on the internet. The 12-year-olds are the ones that decide what's cool slash what's even on the internet to some extent, I should say. Like old the advice animals type stuff where it's like one does not simply walk into Mordor. The we got Morpheus, we got Boromir. Sorry, I wanted to say Balatromir for some reason. My brain is rotted. My brain is completely rotted through. Um, like it was just all nerd culture stuff. Jimbo Boromir, Jim Boromir, Jim Boromir, Jim Boromir. I don't know where I'm going with this. I missed that era of longevity in memes. Yeah, everything feels so disposable. Now it's like that was the communication style. Everything was in that method. There goes my deal with the devil chance again. One does not simply reach scientific notation in Balatro. Okay, there's there's potential there. There's actually something there. Could I describe what it is? Um, maybe, maybe somewhere. Walking into spikes. Yeah, I think that's got potential. One does not simply molt their molt in Balatro. One does not simply reach E in Balatro. E. Remember when that was the big thing? The Markiplier Marquad? Mar Marquad? Is this anything? I'm excited for the next Shrek movie. That movie's definitely gonna be good, right? I mean, I've heard people be like, ew, it looks ugly. I don't really care. Shrek was not really a franchise that was about being beautiful. If I remember correctly, the whole plot of the first movie is it's what's on the inside that counts. Yeah, I will take flight. Wait, was that damage? Hang on a second. No, okay. Disregard. That was the Book of Belial. Anyways, I don't really care about how pretty the new Shrek movie is. I care if it's actually interesting at all. Does that movie have potential to be good? Maybe. Remember when Zendaya was Michi? That's all I got. Remember when Zendaya was Michi? What the hell is Challengers about? Isn't that that's written by hang on, I have it. I have it in my brain. That's written by the potion seller guy, right? Which is my favorite way to tell people that memes can get you into Hollywood. Just I need to understand the through line a little bit more with that because it is interesting. I don't have a clue what you're talking about. Check the Wikipedia page. Wait, is he might be married to the writer of Challengers? Potion seller guy. Come on, you don't know potion seller guy? The guy behind the bit potion seller? He sells potions? You cannot handle my strongest potions? One does not simply handle my strongest potions, traveler? I think I'm losing my mind. But that's okay. I'll blame this Isaac run. That's definitely the cause. This Isaac run. Okay, well, next floor. I don't have any damage. My DPS is garbage. I think we can go into... I think we can go into the cursed room and then use the stars card and get somewhere. I mean, I'm just trying to leverage what I got into something. That's probably my favorite thing about Isaac is just... It gives you a wide variety of tools in order to reach for the leverage. Is some of it the most fun? No. No, it isn't. But it does give you the tools. Sometimes you do have to put in the work to make it actually come to fruition here. And I don't know if we can make it work. Okay, well, maybe not. More DPS upgrades in any capacity is good. Who cares if it's just a minor tiers upgrade and a luck-based tier effect? Me? I do. I do. I care. I do actually care. But I care because it means that I have more DPS. And I desperately need it. We're leaning on the leverage here. We're leaning on the tools that we have. We're taking a crowbar and we're cracking Edmund's baby wide open. Because I don't know what else. I don't know what other options I have other than just getting hit instantly. Who needs to deal with the devil? Who needs to deal with the devil? Who needs the devil wearing Prada? Isn't that what he and him? I think it's him. Isn't that what him and Powerpuff Girls is about? The devil wearing Prada? No, I am not taking Cursed Eye. Get that shit out of here. Not in so many words. I mean, yeah. Weren't they doing a Powerpuff Girls, like, reboot thing? Or am I thinking of Scooby-Doo again? Because I remember Velma... I remember Velma coming out and people being like, wow, this really sucks. But then again, how many different Scooby-Doo iterations have we gotten? We've gone through like 4 generations worth of Scooby-Doo. Right? Also, what's new Scooby-Doo's soundtrack goes hard? What's new Scooby-Doo just kind of goes hard? I mean, what Scooby-Doo iterations don't go hard? I think Velma. People really don't like Scrappy for some reason. I don't understand it. I feel like Scrappy-Doo is fine. Wait, who directed the? That was James Gunn, right? The like 2000s Scooby Doo movies. Those kind of go hard. Had Rowan Atkinson in it. It's at least something. They had a star-studded cast. The fact that they got two of those movies is crazy to me. And I feel like James Gunn kind of specializes in writing characters that uh, tolerate each other, that don't like each other but tolerate each other. Like that's all of what Guardians of the Galaxy is about. That's all of. Well, no. Guppy's hairball. I might as well grab this. Should have used that twice as well. Ah well. We die or we live. I gotta leverage somehow. But yes, James Gunn really loves to write characters that barely tolerate each other. You get that a little bit in the new Superman movie. You get it in Guardians of the Galaxy. You get that in the Scooby Doo's. Um, Slither, I'm not 100% about. I need to. I apparently need to see more of James Gunn's filmography. But it's more than just one or two instances. So it's not just a me being weird and saying, "Oh, James Gunn really likes to write this," when it's not true. He loves writing movies that have people that barely tolerate each other. He's a quippy guy. He's no Joss Whedon, and I mean that complimentarily. I mean that complimentarily. Complimentary? I don't know what the right word to use there, but complementarily. That's the vibe I'm going for. Um, I had another point that I wanted to make somewhere in there, but I wanted to finish what I was saying. Oh yeah, I hate Joss Whedon's Avengers. And again, the Zack Snyder fans really came out in full force for the Superman movies. The Superman movies were the newest Superman is fine. Man of Steel sucks. I cannot stand Man of Steel. That is a deeply boring and Zack Snyder filleting himself type of movie. I'm not gonna do Shoal today. He just loves edgy, grim, dark stuff, but none of the stuff that he writes is actually like compelling. Like he gives me the vibe of somebody that reads Ayn Rand, but I don't know. I mean, he does love Atlas Shrugged, from what I understand, but he loves the idea of the one great man imagery. But one great man is awful and stupid. One single person can't fix all of the problems in the world. That's just not feasible. It won't happen. We can't have we don't have somebody to rescue us at the end of the day. We have to be the ones that do that ourselves. But yeah, I hate Zack Snyder. I think, or at least I don't know if I hate him as a person, but I hate his movies. Me and a bunch of buddies ended up watching all of the all of the Zack Snyder movies, and we watched Guardians of Gahul, a movie that also sucks. Why did they give a children's movie to fucking Zack Snyder? Yeah, he made 300. Let's make him make a kids movie that sucks. Guy can barely write something for adults, let alone for children. Like, sure, people would probably like to claim that it's easier to write for kids. It's probably easier to write schlock for kids. Writing good children's media is not. Writing good media is hard. And just because it's for kids doesn't mean that kids don't recognize when something sucks. I mean, they're less inclined to be critical, but ever since I was a child, I was always like, wow, these movies kind of suck when I would watch very blatant cash grabs that did suck. How hard is it to have passionate people work in the industry? Very hard. I understand that much. It's because so many people. It's just because of nepotism, really. Nepotism and a lack of care. It's gonna make us money. Who cares? Why would we put in the quality control when we could just make money? It's for kids. The kids don't need quality. It just makes me think of like He-Man stuff. When's the Zack Snyder gritty He-Man reboot? That seems like exactly the kind of schlock that Hollywood would put out, huh? Not like stories are used to teach kids lessons or anything. No, certainly not. Like fairy tales used to be like, hey, have a plan. Hey, here's how to deal with these situations that are probably gonna kill you or be very bad for you to deal with. Don't go don't trust strangers and go into their houses for no reason. I mean, obviously you're not gonna Hansel and Gretel, like most people aren't just gonna eat you as a kid, but don't go into other people's houses for no reason. Ooh. That's another Isaac rundown. Oh boy, experimental treatment. There we go. And we send another Isaac run back. We've been talking a lot of movies today. I don't know why. I think I just need to watch more movies, period. But I wanted to talk about what I've talked about previously, and I feel like I've done a good job of that thus far. I feel like I have certainly discussed plenty about Hollywood's undoing. Let's talk about children's stories. So I just finished Dresden Files, number 18, Battlegrounds. I think is 18, right? Anyways, it's a high number. It's a very large number. That book series has many books in it. And towards the end of the book, there's this sort of like very much fanficky moment of Mab, the Queen of Air and Darkness, showing up and giving the main character's daughter a, a Elsa sing-along box. Was it a sing-along box? It was a music box. Specifically after having like 3 paragraphs about her Mab being like, hey, I hate Disney because it has watered down stories that were important for humans over the centuries. And that's kind of what I feel like with just media in general. Like, we no longer have stories for reasons. Like, entertainment is a reason, don't get me wrong. We don't have children's stories that we tell just to be like, okay, here's a lesson to teach our children. Or at least I'm not encountering them. They may still be passed through oral tradition. Then again, I'm not interacting with kids very much. I'm not exactly one that hangs out with children. Ooh, Incubus, I believe. I'm quite happy with that poll. Anyways, I wish that we could do more for our children. What would I do for our kids? Um, um, what's the what's the thing that kids say when they want to get elected for like student body office? I'm gonna make the vending machines free, and I'm gonna put soda in the drinking fountains. Right? That's that one. Recess is gonna be 3 times longer. I mean, I'm lost. I've lost it. Whatever point I had is gone. You know, for I think 3 years in elementary school, I ran for student council because I really wanted to. I don't know why. Actually, I'm looking back at it and I'm like, why did I want to be in student council? I think it was partially the whole like election process of it. I was like, man, I really want for people to like me, and I was a weird kid. I was regarded as a social outcast for most of elementary school. So it made sense that I did not get I did not get any of those positions up until 6th grade when I ran against somebody else who was even more ostracized within the community, the children's community. A weird memory to think upon. Anyways, I got it in 6th grade, and what I learned from that was that it sucked. I spent like every Friday morning coming in early, and then I'd come in. Life is strange. True. I'd spend every Friday coming in early, and I would cut open box tops, and that's how they had student council actually do anything. No wonder people didn't run for re-election. It's because it sucked. You didn't really do anything fun. You just kind of, oh, okay, tough love plus jawbreaker. What a combo! Be shooting teeth left, right, and center. Um, anyways, no wonder people didn't run for re-election in those positions. They realized it was just work and like zero interesting stuff going on. Just you show up like an hour early before school and you cut box tops and you don't really do anything to represent. I don't recall doing anything to actually represent my fellow students or children. That'll teach kids politics. No wonder we have people that are so disinterested in politics. We teach them from a young age that it sucks. I don't think I want either of those. Anyways, I spent a lot of time cutting box tops. And I'm really trying to rack my brain here. It's been like a decade since I've thought about this stuff. Probably more. Maybe like 15 years at this point. Um, we cut box tops. I think we did. We just did votes on like what sort of activities are. I don't. All I can remember is cutting box tops. Do people actually like do box tops now? Are box tops still a thing? Also, cutting those sucks. That cardboard is a pain in the ass to cut. It didn't help that they gave us those crappy child scissors at that time either. So it'd be like more efficient to just fold and tear the cardboard than try to cut with whatever crappy dull scissors they had. Oh, that, if I had to guess, I'd say it's somehow scammy, but who knows? Probably. That's a pretty good bet actually. It's a scam of some sort. It either takes your time or takes people's money, maybe. In 2019, the program switched from physical box top to a mobile app. Since this change, rates of redemption have fallen. No! We need to have a way to the appification of everything. Box top app? What? What kind of shenanigans is this? 2019 too. Wow, I've been out of that ecosystem for a minute. What was I saying? Oh yeah, trying to cut box tops. So I'm a left-handed individual, and they would give everybody right-handed tools because that's what was mass-produced and what was available. That was probably part of why it was so difficult to box tops for me. I just had a realization moment there of, oh yeah, that's probably because I'm built different. I am in fact built different than other people. Right-handed scissors are so strange. I don't get it either. After seeing so many surgical instruments, especially, yeah. I mean, those are omni-handed, right? Those are those are ones that anybody can use, or are there more like specifically handed tools? Most of them. That reminds me, I bought an axe recently, and by recently I mean within the last like 2 years. It was just a hatchet, not like a full-on axe. And I didn't realize until I tried to use it. I was like, why does this feel so weird? It's right-handed. Like the wood is is warped in such a way and molded that it's for right-handed individuals. It's just such a pain having tools that I expect to be, you know, something that I can use, and then it's not even labeled like right-handed axe. It's just hatchet. Why is there why is that handed? That can be something that anybody can use. Right-handed default nonsense. Exactly. We don't need to make things handed. Like scissors, I don't know. I don't know how you would make omni-handed shears or scissors, to be perfectly honest. They also work slightly different. They are sharp and cut instead of using blunt action to tear apart. That's true. And most people don't sharpen their. I feel like most people aren't sharpening their scissors. Something you should do if it's a bladed instrument. Sharpening it is a part of maintaining it. Then again, it's easier to just get rid of it. Do I want to grab? You know what? I am gonna grab Teardrop Charm. +4 luck. Yeah, sure. We'll hold on to that. What was I saying? Right-handed default. So, somebody that is built different, having to deal with the nonsense of trying to navigate this right-handed world is wacky. It's very frustrating as well. Items that you think are for everybody, nope. Scissors, very much not. That hatchet that I got? Oh, why am I so... Am I so... gaseous? Keep getting the hiccups. I'm trying my best to keep them down, but... it is not working the best. But yeah, right-handed default sucks. Wouldn't it just be terrible if you walked in anywhere and the default was assumed to be something that you're not? This is only half commentary about being bald, being left-handed, getting asked weird questions like, why are you this way? Why are you built this way? I don't know, man. The world is a ridiculous place. That it is. Life is strange. The world is weird. The mice being right-handed by default, kind of odd. I feel like that should be something that you could swap out pretty easily. You could definitely make omni-handed mice. I kind of wish humans were translucent so we could see inside, because there's so many different things that can be there, like lung lobes. I'm gonna tell you, I think it's for the best that we can't see what's actually inside of people, because there would definitely be some sort of societal thing. Humans have huge amounts of variations. There's no normal. Extremely true. The only thing that's normal is the expectation of normality. If you don't conform, people expect lobe supremacists. People expect a default when there is no default. We are all but Dark Souls characters that have gone through the random button 7,000 times. That's what genetics is, baby. Genetics is differentiation becoming an asset for the survival of the future. Right? That's how that goes? I don't fully remember. I'm just kind of spewing nonsense. And then again, is that any different than anything I've ever done? It's not. I'm just a wacky individual saying a lot of wacky things. Always have been. Here, let's fight the boss. This time we actually have damage. That's great. Nice after 2-ish runs that took forever to actually get there. And no boss. No boss. No... What am I saying? No devil deal. Sorry, I'm losing steam here. I need to drink more water, too. That's for certain. Nope. Okay. The scoop. This item sucks. Where was I going? Lobe supremacist. I just keep looking over and seeing lobe supremacists. A very silly phrase. You feel blessed. Wonderful. Hashtag blessed. Hashtag Isaac, hashtag blessed. Ink oiter. Yeah, give me a second. I'm gonna run back and forth, and I'm gonna take a sip. Alright, cool. That gave me a whole lot of nothing. This whole floor, I'm going back to the leverage. We're just gonna keep doing this. I want to try and push that leverage into the boss fight room. Boss rush room? I don't know what the hell it's called. I don't think it's boss rush. Okay. We have our leverage. Now, let's make sure that we have a full charge going into there. And let's hope for another DPS upgrade. Maybe a Tears upgrade? Tears and or Luck would be great. I'm really trying to get anything more on that front. I mean, it is a damage upgrade. I will take that. Peep. I think Peep may kill me. I don't have the most confidence in dodging all of his nonsense on one heart. Okay. One boss down. Okay, maybe... Is this the Maw? I can't remember his name. Eyeless Steve. Eyeless Steve from Minecraft. Herobrine in my Isaac? Just thinking back, Herobrine really was such a silly fad, huh? Yeah, Minecraft has Notch's brother in the game, but he died. Now he's a spooky ghost that you can sometimes run into, and he has the default character. It's just such like copy pasta silliness, and it got latched onto. Do you think Slender Man spawned from that a little bit? I've never heard this lore before. It's not really. It's all hearsay. It's the kind of shit children love, I'm afraid. Exactly. When I was in like late middle school, early high school, my friend group and I played the first like Slender Man game, and that bad boy was popular. YouTube definitely was one of those things that made a lot of things popular that would not have otherwise been popular. I mean, it's just social media in general has done that in a variety of ways. Like, celeb culture is vastly different than it now because we have micro celebrities, the era of pretending to be turbo freaked out by horror games. I don't think a lot of those people were actually pretending. I don't want to say that as like a for sure thing. I think some of them were genuinely freaked out but played it up. And I don't think that era is entirely over. I feel like there's still very much horror game YouTubers that are around. I mean, Markiplier, that was his steez. PewDiePie, kind of the same sort of era. Although I feel like I've interacted with more people that have been like huge Markiplier fans in the last 10 years than big PewDiePie fans. It's not for me, I suppose. No, most things aren't. And I don't mean that derogatorily. I think it's funnier when people are stone faced. Yeah, I think that there's a lot of humor to be mined from that. I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo. What the hell am I doing here? No, I understand. We recently were recommended YouTube by the a YouTube a video by the YouTube algorithm of the Pikmin singing "Creep" by Radiohead, and I gotta say, just pitch shifting it and having the Pikmin dance is not the same thing. That is not having Pikmin sing for you. Because it was like the same 6 second animation from like the end of the Pikmin games where it's like, oh, you won. Here's all of the characters dancing and stuff. Here's all of the characters. It was funny. It is not the Pikmin singing creep though. I was hoping that I would see like an actual animation and not just a little something like that. What? Where am I going with this? I've kind of lost the plot. Anyways, I feel like Radiohead's "Creep" really hits into the zeitgeist because everybody has that same sort of I have been made to feel othered. I've been a weirdo. I have in fact been a creep. It's sort of that self-reflection. Sort of the self-reflection of society at large. Me at the grocery store. I'm at the grocery store because I feel like I'm a freak. I will take Holy Mantle. I don't really need more damage. I think damage mitigation is more important for me. Just imagining telling the person at the checkout lane, just like, Radiohead's Creep really hits the zeitgeist and pop culture because everybody's been made to feel othered. Everybody, Kermit the Frog here. Kermit the Frog here with my video analysis of why everybody loves Creep, even though Radiohead is more than just that. As everybody has told me numerous times, and by everybody I mean my spouse, has told me numerous times, Iron Lung is about that. Feeling like your career as an artist is upheld exclusively because everybody wants to hear the hits, which sucks. Chef is also about this. A movie I really like. Chef Jon Favreau, I think, has got some sauce. Help! I know I'm repetitive. No, it's okay. I'm also repetitive. I continue to say the same things over and over. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to be repetitive. I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo. Yeah, I do not have that actually. That was last round. Whoops. Well, anyways. Yeah, I can only imagine how annoying it must be as an artist to have one thing hit pop culture relevance and then that's the only thing people want from you. That would frustrate the hell out of me. You spend so long making so much different art and so much different effort and different eras of your life just recorded in your art. But people only want to hear about that one time that, like, just as an example, that you felt like a freak because you hurt somebody's feelings. I don't know. I would be very frustrated as an artist to know that that's the only thing that people want from you. I would probably be like, just, I don't need to be popular. Just let me do my thing. Let me make enough money doing what I want to do. Let me live my life. I can have some diehard fans that want more from me than just one song. I know I'd be, if somebody told me like that they as an artist were like, I'm so tired of the world treating me like this, I'd be like, yeah, I get it. I understand. I'm in fact someone that tries to empathize and sympathize. Oh, hello, Tinted Rock. I understand cause and effect sometimes. It means a lot to have an audience. I will take that. It means a lot to have an audience, but if your audience only wants one thing from you, I can understand being like, can I please just do more than this? I say talking in a circle, saying the same thing. I don't know. I feel like it's important to recognize where artists lie. I think I can actually get away with using this. I'll keep my dice shard and then we'll save it for something else. Maybe deal with the angel, ideally? Maybe? We'll see. You know, this might also be a good opportunity to use it. Black bean. Wonderful. Whatever. NBD. I mean, I kind of understand NL being like, I'm done playing Isaac forever, specifically because of that. That's the one thing that he was known for years is like, oh yeah, the Isaac guy, the bald Isaac guy. And he branched out, and I feel like he did a good job with that. He became more than just that. Knowing what he's specialized into a different thing altogether now. Of just, he's not just the Banter Lord. He is still kind of the Banter Lord. Because everybody, when people come to Twitch, they expect entertainment. And just playing a video game is not cutting the mustard nowadays. But he built those banter muscles through playing Isaac as much as he did. I think recognizing where you come from is an important thing as an artist too. And then again, he is also playing Isaac again. He's playing Isaac in 2026. 2025? We'll see if he plays it in 2026. I don't know. I haven't been paying that much attention. I think we can move on from this floor. But yes, recognizing where you come from as an artist and like what got you there is important. The fact that he came back to it is recognition enough. You play enough of the same thing and you will get good at it. You do something enough, you will get good at it. You combine playing a video game or one specific video game with trying to be entertaining. It makes sense. It makes sense that that's where that went. I don't really want to pay my last red heart for part 2 of Guppy. So I think we'll just move on. Maybe we can get one more deal with the angel. Or angel room. Me pulling out verbiage from the Banter Lord himself. I should probably get ready to book his shadows. Our good friend here as well. Portable slot. Ew. This item sucks. Okay, well. Anyways, moving on. In order to become the artist that you want to be, you do have to put in the work. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do here today. Spend enough time. Yeah, I will take. No. And Little Horn? Yes, please. Art, thank you. I appreciate you supporting my dreams here, honey. I appreciate you supporting my desires. In spite of it being weird and hard, and probably a real pain to be around, because I'm always talking about this at home. I'm always talking about, oh, here's X, Y, or Z. I think this would be a great thing for me to keep in mind or try and implement. I feel like I'm very much a broken clock and at home trying to speak about my plans and goals, and also these same thoughts of just like, you got to put in the work, and I want to put in the work and I'm willing to. It's just finding a good genre, finding a good time, getting lucky. Really, that's a major part of it, I think. I mean, that's really with every endeavor. How lucky can you get? The likelihood of winning the lottery when you only have one ticket is pretty low. So you got to maximize those tickets. Keep get it twisted. This is me telling you to get addicted to gambling. This is a joke. Please do not get addicted to gambling. I have an extreme amount of disdain for what I think gambling and sports gambling is doing to our culture. And by our culture, I mean our poor youths. We really don't need. We really don't need to get small kids addicted to gambling to try and line the pockets of these big corporations. It is a blight upon society, the fact that all of these companies are like, yeah, you know what? Let's get kids addicted to gambling, get them addicted to tobacco, get them addicted to everything, really. Every vice that we have. I've talked about this recently as well, but like the omnivore's dilemma talks about these big company. Was it omnivore's dilemma? You're here right now, so you can help assist me with that. But one of those books that you read was talking about how the tobacco corporations bought food snack companies, and how that was salt, sugar, fat. Okay, that is an important distinction to make. Let's take death into the next room. It's just trying to get people addicted to things while they're young, so that they maintain that addiction as they get older. Because it's hard. Like, children don't have the mental fortitude to say, I am addicted to sugary soda. I should probably cut down on that. You know what? We can just fight the boss. Children do not have the mental fortitude to be able to sit down and say, I'm addicted to sugary soda. I should stop because it's severely impacting my health. Kids are pretty much only as good as the opportunities that they have. And when they're constantly fed unhealthy foods, they will maintain those unhealthy dietary habits. We've unlocked the quarter, yes! That's one more unlock. Let's go, we got Mama's Boy too. Make it 2 floors without taking damage on the womb. Okay, let me take just a second here to hydrate more. And then let's run another Isaac back. Oh. I love water. And I need to take my headphones off. At least for a second. Do a quick facial rub. Surely this will help me. Oh, okay, there we go. I feel more human again. Do I need this on? Do I want this on? No, I'm not gonna wear that anymore. Alright, after winning our last Isaac run, let's run back another. We're still just trying to get our 10 Mom's Heart victories so that we can aim for the further unlocks, which I am quite excited for. Yahoo! Yeah, I'm excited. I kind of want to try and do some more Super Mario 64 speedruns. Learning how to do that was kind of a good time. They're so funny to watch. I want to learn 16 star. I think learning... Well, I already know how to do 16 star. 16 star is really silly. It's not really a whole lot to do either. It's doable for somebody that's like moderately skilled or puts like any amount of time into it. You can do it in under an hour. And I know that the world records are like crazy. They're very, very short. I will not be disparaging those people because I know that those people know what the hell they're doing. BLJ, BLJ. Yes! The BLJs are just so funny. I feel like... I mean, I could use... I think I could use my, GameCube emulator for that. I do own a physical copy of... Not GameCube emulator, GameCube controller and an emulator. I do own a copy of Super Mario 64. Coinage. Okay, well, at least it's a DPS upgrade. I do own a copy of Super Mario 64 and the 64. They are currently back in... They're back across the country, so I may have to wait on that. Get those back at some point. But I've been thinking about doing some speedrunning. I think that could be a good way to learn more about my gaming capabilities. Plus, like, a little bit of speedrunning is kind of neat, right? The learning process is super cool. I think learning how to set up everything for that would be the most time-consuming part, aside from just doing it. Shia LaBeouf voice, just do it. I love that he said, I'm gonna force myself to become a meme by saying a bunch of air quotes inspirational things in front of a green screen. That stuff is funny though. Just sliding in front of a green screen because you want other people to edit you screaming stuff on top of stuff. Like, yeah, you know what? Open up the opportunity for people to get a little wacky with it. A green screen stream could be fun. I feel like I'd need people to watch so that I could be like, okay, what do you want me to do? You are my director. I am but your muse. Give me something that you want me to do. Something that is memeable and not problematic, ideally. I really don't feel like getting canceled for no reason. I don't feel like getting canceled at the behest of somebody around me. Somebody who wishes upon my downfall. My haters. My haters on their hater arc. Trying to get me killed. All zero of my haters. Oh yeah, that's the opposite of stands. My spouse and I were talking about this earlier. I think we were talking about Jared Leto, another guy that I do not like. I'm a Jared Leto hater. I think that he keeps showing up in media properties that he does not need to be. Like Tron Ares, I'm not watching that. That ended up being on in the background at what was it, a family Christmas party recently? I was just like, is this stuff on TV already? When did that come out? I don't even recall. Is that on streaming? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it was on streaming. Just because that's... everything goes on streaming within like 2 weeks now. That's just the life cycle of media. It lives in the zeitgeist for 3 seconds, and then it gets washed away in the torrent. The torrent of streaming and new media coming out and TikToks and whatever. Do I get it? No. No, I do not. I think our run is fine for now. I will take Ancient Recall, and then we'll pull more of them down, I think, with the flower trinket. We only pulled one. The world, one. That's good to have. Hanged Man, yeah, I'll use that right now. But yeah, I did. Jared Leto is... if there is one Jared Leto hater, it is me. I haven't seen him in a lot of stuff. I just hate that he has a cult and that's just normalized now. It's like, oh yeah, these people have a sex cult. What are you gonna do? Keep putting them in movies, by the way. Surely his acting prowess is good enough. It makes me so happy that he was in Morbius, though. Just the complete failure of Morbius. I should have used that while the enemies were in the room, actually. Whoops. Whatever. One moment. We'll take High Priestess. This one. I just don't think Jared Leto's acting prowess is good enough. I mean, he couldn't save Morbius. I don't know what... that whole movie is just a mess. I think I ended up watching it because of the... what was it? The, like, I can fit all of Morbius. If I downscale it, I can put all of Morbius on Twitter and no one will do anything to stop me. And I'll tell you, no one did anything to stop him. That movie stayed. I'm pretty sure that tweet stayed up for a minute. And I gotta say, that movie, I saw it for free, and the only thing that I got from it was that Matt Smith, right? The Doctor Who guy, 11 of Doctor Who, was in it. I mean, he was chewing it up. He was having a great time, but Jared Leto, I just felt like there were so many terrible lines in that movie. Why does Sony keep making these just absolutely dog shit Spider-Man adjacent movies? Like, it's because they had the rights, right? And they're like, Craven the Hunter, Morbius, Madam Web. Like, who the hell knew who Madam Web was before that movie came out? Turbo comic nerds, and I'll tell you what, they were probably not clamoring for a Madam Web adaptation. Okay, well, we'll just keep moving on then. Just deciding whether or not anything that I've gotten is worth pulling into the boss fight, which it isn't. But yeah, Madam Web was also a movie that I saw on a movie theater, not a movie theater, a flying movie theater, aka an airplane. And I think that was the only acceptable way to see that movie. Learned the funny thing is that they did adapt an actual Madam Web plot and then decided not to, changed a bunch so it didn't make sense. The ghost of the comic was in there. That makes sense. What the hell plotline were they trying to do and then decided to scrap? Just commit to doing the comic book plotline. It's already written for you. You don't have to do any work for it. I mean, you got to do a little bit of the adaptation, but you already did it. Why would you bother? I have to send the video that you watched about it. Okay, I will watch that and I will come back to this at some point. I will discuss it further in the Isaac series. Maybe. If I remember, ideally. My forgetful ass remembers. My hungry ass could never be on the Titanic. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. What's the movie about the... Was it New Zealand rugby players who would have eaten the iceberg? Yeah. That's what the lettuce is named after, right? The Titanic iceberg. In advertisement jail. I'm so sorry. You're in advertisement jail. That's how it goes. Unfortunately. Fuck down. Come on. Can't have shit in Isaac. Stop trying to steal my juice. My battery juice. Welcome back. What was I saying? I feel like I had something to say, but I just keep losing it. Something about movies. Today is the day where we talk about movies, apparently. Oh yeah, I saw Madam Web on the plane, and that movie sucks ass. One, Dakota Johnson just could not put on a compelling performance. Well, I don't think anybody in that movie was gonna put on a compelling performance. But I do not feel like Dakota Johnson does compelling. The video I'm talking about is why does Madam Web's dialogue sound so weird? The dialogue in that movie is insane. The answer is ADR. What is ADR again? Everybody in that whole movie just seems so stilted the entire time. Go back and re-record lines later. Why would you just do lines right the first time? Like, sure, you can do it again later, but because they changed the plot. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Still, why would they change the plot in post? I guess you gotta piece together something from that monstrosity scrap monstrosity, I guess would be the correct way to say that one. You gotta piece something together in that bad boy, but bring it more in line with other Marvel. I don't want to see other Marvel. Sony couldn't. They try and replicate Marvel, but they can't. Like, I was gonna talk about this earlier too, with the Amazing Spider-Man series, with Andrew Garfield. Those movies are not very good for numerous reasons. I don't think Andrew Garfield is to blame for that one. Actually, I think he puts on a pretty compelling performance. Him and Emma Stone are actually like the highlights of that. But just all of the other, like, they got Paul Giamatti to do a goddamn cameo at the end. They have Tiny Rhino Paul Giamatti in that movie. Or was it the second one? I don't remember anything from the first one other than being like, why does this feel so weird? Why is everything in this movie so odd? Why are these movies so weird? The second one just has fucking awful writing. I wish that weren't the case, but it's bad. I've only seen the Sam Raimi 1 and 2 ones. Those are good! I would not waste your time with the Amazing Spider-Man movies by Sony. The Amazing Spider-Man game? Wait, was it? No, that's Ultimate Spider-Man that I'm thinking of. Ultimate Spider-Man, I think, would be up your alley, actually. It's a little older now, but you get to play as Venom, and, like, you have some fun boss fights. Like, you fight Wolverine within the first, like, section where you play as Venom. Like, you play chapters and you go back and forth between Venom and Spider-Man. I had a lot of fun with that game. Those time trial type beats where you're against the Human Torch. As a kid, I wasn't the biggest completionist, to say the least. But I did those just to try and, like, say that I did them. Those were hard. The movement tech in Ultimate Spider-Man had some depth to it, to say the least. I would really like it if I could get an Angel Room. Well, next floor. Anyways, I really liked Ultimate Spider-Man. I think Ultimate Spider-Man is one of those games that is from an era where, like, bad games thrived, but we had a couple of good Spider-Man games. At least for the Xbox and PlayStation. I personally thought the Spider-Man 2 game was a lot of fun. The pizza mini game music is just so good. I can't remember the exact tune. I'm terrible at performing. I'm terrible at not being super self-conscious about trying to like do anything music related. Because anytime I've tried to do so previously, people would be like, "Wow, you're so off key," etc., etc. Which I usually am, but like, I'm not trying to. I'm just trying to get the point across. Okay, damn it. I don't need you hammering home on my insecurities, please. More keys is good. I'm not the most confident of this run right now. I do think that it has potential, but... Ooh, Hero Font. That actually may be enough. It doesn't look insane enough yet. Exactly, that's the problem. Another Hero Font card. Let's go. We may actually be in this then. Ooh, okay. Thanks. Another apple. I'll take that. It's something. It's a Tears upgrade at least. Could always use more of that. Anyways, there's a lot of good Spider-Man games. I don't think, well, I don't know if there's a lot of good ones. I feel like Spider-Man is one of those franchises that people really like. I know I really like Spider-Man. Or at least did. I don't really care for comic stuff too much now because it's been oversaturated. I've heard a lot of people talk about them positively. Yeah, like I beat all of the newest Spider-Man, like regular Spider-Man game for PS4. I beat that one. I did a lot of the side content in that game as well because I found it very fun. Certainly think that making a game where you web swing around it more interesting than another shooter. I would agree. I think that there's a lot of potential for good Spider-Man media. But then again, uh, like, there's just a lot of bad media as well. Anyways, the newest, the Spider-Man for PS4 was really good. I liked Miles Morales, the limited amount that I played of it. I think I may have gotten like halfway through that one. But I thought it was good. I really liked Spider-Man PS4. Was it Amazing Spider-Man? I can't remember the actual one. I can't remember the actual title of it. But I loved the gadgets. The gadgets were a ton of fun. I felt like there was a lot of like it was your stock standard like post Arkham Asylum. You got a parry, you got combos, you do your flow state type deal. And it was fun. I had a lot of fun with it. But the gadgets are what really did it for me. Because like sure I can throw whatever in a combo, but I'll gladly have a game where I can use cool stuff frequently. I love having the option to use cool stuff. I had my friend Sean uh watch me play that, and he was like, go crazy with the gadgets. I don't think I've seen anybody use them as much as you do. And I was like, yeah, I want, like, it's a mechanic in the game. Why wouldn't I want to use it? It's like, I just did the combat normally. I was like, why would I fight fair? I'm Spider-Man. If I can stick people to the walls instantly, I'm gonna do that. The less I have to give them a fair fight, the better. Spear of Destiny. I've unlocked a Forgotten Horseman. Okay. Yeah, I loved playing that game just because I got the opportunity to really feel like Spider-Man, as everybody says. But like when you're playing a Spider-Man game, you want to feel like Spider-Man. Why wouldn't I want to feel like Spider-Man in a Spider-Man game? Rude. People act like that's such a bad critique. Sure, it doesn't mean anything, but like nothing means anything. Show me, show me Spider-Man pictures or whatever. I want to feel like Spider-Man if I'm playing Spider-Man. I want to be the guy that quips and slings webs and yeah, I will use the moon here. And in this silly, wacky world, I want to feel Peter Parker's pain and like the whole shebang of great power comes great responsibility. That's what I want from my Spider-Man game. I want to feel like Spider-Man. I want to feel like I have to undergo moral decisions or whatever, or at least like see the interesting villains and stuff. You know, because I feel like Spider-Man does have one of the better rogues galleries, or at least like more iconic rogues galleries. Like there's a ton of crossover between Spider-Man and some other not villains, some other heroes, but like so it makes sense that Punisher would care about Kingpin or whatever. It makes sense that anybody in New York would also like associate with Spider-Man's rogues gallery in some capacity. Because he's got some crazy ones in there. I love that they're all animal themed, really, except for Craven. What was the '80s animated show? Why did we stop doing animated shows like that? Well, I know why, but just like the 3D rendered city when he's swinging is so ridiculous. Look that up, by the way. Just look up uh, Spider-Man 80s Spider-Man Cityscape. It's the wackest looking 3D rendering. It's so funny though. And it's just like something that you see for 3 seconds, but it's entirely unnerving. Very much something that I would not expect from my Spider-Man TV show. God, Google is so useless. Yeah, Google has really come around to being unusable, which makes me sad because I remember when it was good. I remember when it was usable. Damn it! But now it's SEO'd to shit, and it incentivizes you to use the stupid ass Gemini or whatever, the AI assistant, which nobody cares about, or at least I don't care about. I want to actually get a source for the stuff that I look up. Like, even if that source has to be Wikipedia, it's better than nothing. Stop walking on the spikes. Stop walking on the spikes. I want I want to be able to search something on the internet and be able to find it, not be spoon-fed it and have it be wrong or like 50-50 chance that it's wrong. I don't want that. I want to be able to verify my sources or my facts. But that seems to be against the code of the Alphabet Corporation nowadays. Like your feet crave the spikes because this is also happening to you during Fear and Hunger. Yeah, I did walk onto the spikes a lot in Fear. That's a game I need to actually finish at some point because it seems neat. It is not exactly stream content, and I feel like a lot of I feel like a lot of RPG Maker games are not very good stream content now because it's just so much reading. Although it really depends on what you're looking to do and what people are looking for from you, I should say. Because like I want to play more Look Outside. That game seems super interesting. I feel like JRPG horror is a genre that is getting a lot more attention and love, and for good reason. There is a lot going on with it. It is quite compelling. But it's I feel like it's one of those game types that you just a lot of the RPG Maker RPGs feel a little convoluted to say the least. Like I enjoy them, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of mechanics and just like okay, well, if it's if it's made to be hard, what am I supposed to do in order to like do well? Because I do want to do well, and I don't want to just be like okay, well I just keep screwing up and like trial and error is fun, but I don't want to have to replay the same like 3 hours worth of content in order to really get anywhere, you know? I just like having the option to save more often. That's really my big hang up. Although I know that's part of the difficulty that I selected. I don't want to play on easy mode though. I want it to be a little bit challenging. I don't want to just be like, okay, I steamroll everything. If that was the case, then I would play something else, you know? That's kind of why I'm playing a JRPG, is that it requires at least a little more thought from me. Got to think about like enemy types or whatever. Like Persona or something? I don't know. Persona is an interesting one. I certainly want to play some Persona, but that is not a good stream franchise. It does not get the kind of attention that it deserves in this space. Unless, like, it's not a good discoverability game, I guess. And I have other stuff I want to do other than just play games. So I gotta play more Twitch oriented games, I guess. Then again, I am going to play what I want to play. At the end of the day, I am going to do that. As long as I'm having fun, that's the thing that matters. I want to make it entertaining, and if I'm not having fun, it's a damn slog to do that. I actually asked for a little bit of content assistance in regards to that. I asked Prey is okay for some tips because he's been doing this for a hot minute, and he seems like he's doing well. He seems like a good guy, and I feel like the tips that he gave were good and applicable. Because, like, let's be real, I'm still very new at this. I've been around for a decade, so a lot of the, or at least around in this space for a decade, so I have some antiquated knowledge and ideas in regards to Twitch. Twitch culture has certainly moved a lot faster than I've kept up with. I just don't watch a whole lot of streams in my downtime, which is kind of on me. Only so much that you can make time for in life. Okay, we'll move on to the next floor, and I think that'll be this run. Check this last room and try and fight Mom's Heart then. I think soon enough we'll be up to 10 wins. What was the core at? I think we're at like 8 or 9 at least. Which is not insignificant. For this file, that's pretty good. Or take the Justice card. What do we have for unlocks this time? Hmm. Really? I completely forgot that that was the reveal for that. Fetus in a Jar. Challenge 9 unlocked. Okay, well... I'm gonna go use the restroom real quick, and then I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Let's get one more run in today. Oh, we got a 4 streak? That's a pretty successful day in Isaac, I'd say. We'd probably do some more challenges at some point, but I kind of want to get more unlocks before I do more challenges. I feel like we're not lacking in variety yet. There are enough items in this game at base now that you are not going to be seeing a whole lot of the same stuff. At least with Repentance installed. I remember on release for Rebirth, it was I had a good couple of runs where I'd keep running into the same items, and I had a great time with it, but sure, I'll take Big Beautiful Fly. I had a great time with it, but also without the unlocks, you were running into a lot of the same items pretty frequently, which is not a big deal. Rebirth Isaac was still way more content, and I had a great time with it. Like Mega Satan is an addition that came with Rebirth, right? Yeah, I feel like that one. I think Rebirth, that was the very end of your unlocks, was Mega Satan and Hush, which are not the hardest. It was harder with Lost. I remember getting stuck on Lost for a while. I went to go see a movie, but I'd been playing on my laptop, and I'd been playing Isaac on my laptop in a car, trying to fight Hush with the Lost. And I think I defeated Hush, and then I came back after that, and it was just I completely flubbed the rest of the run. I definitely remember dying in a very silly way. Thank you, Big Beautiful Fly, for damaging me like that, by the way. I need to be better about staying away from that. But yeah, Rebirth Isaac was a different era. I remember having to go through the rigmarole for Lost, which we're going to have to do again this time. For this file, which will be fun, I'm sure. It's a lot easier now, though. It is way easier now. Because of... You can just have Lost Poster or whatever and walk over spikes and die. And there you go. Easy unlocks. Easy rares. Exactly what I'm looking for. But that will just come down to, do I have enough runs? And then do I encounter the Lost Poster and go, okay, well, I guess this is the run that we throw. This is the one that I'm going to decide to toss in the hopper so that I unlock the Lost. And maybe get some unlocks from it, but who knows? Because I believe it only counts the bosses that you defeat as the character. And if... Obviously, the longer your run goes, the more exposure you get to that kind of stuff. Who knows? Maybe we'll run into the Lost Poster this run. And we can say, hey, time to run on some sack spikes. Hold on to that until we encounter enough of those. Thank you, Big Beautiful Fly. Great bounce for us. My favorite DVD screensaver. Big Beautiful Fly. Easy rares. Easy runs. Let's move on. Let's try not to take too much damage this run either. These last couple runs, I feel like I've been just walking into enemies left, right, and center, and it's a little less conducive to winning, typically. I say as I run into 2 enemies back to back. What am I doing, man? What am I doing? I'm losing it. Although at least I can walk into this without worrying too much. Maybe boss rap room? That is that the terminology that the kids are using? AKA, is that the terminology that I remember? I do not recall. It's been a minute. Oh, more flies. Maybe we can get Beelzebub. Beelzebub. We can get Lord of the Flies. That'd be kind of nice. Early flying always pays dividends in my eyes. Big beautiful fly, please. My big beautiful friend. My favorite DVD screensaver. Is that just like a generational universal thing of like, oh yeah, we would sit and watch the DVD thing bounce until it hit the corner? I mean, The Office made the same joke. And those people are writers at the very least, more so than I am. Although I could be more. What if I write the next Office? What if I write something about a paper company? What if I wrote about all of the Office falling apart and then I may die here? Never mind. Thank you, big beautiful fly. You're my best friend. Anyways, what if I wrote about The Office concluding and everything being bad? What if I wrote about a paper company just going bankrupt, etc., etc.? I mean, The Office was lightning in a bottle. I think that's kind of the last show of like that generation of TV where it's like, this is sit down and watch television. I mean, some people may not feel that way about The Office, and it wasn't quite for me until like I watched all of it on Netflix. The Office is just like ideal Netflix TV, huh? It's second monitor content. It was pre second monitor content, second monitor content. You can just throw that bad boy on and do whatever. It doesn't matter what it is. It was the kind of TV that you could tune into and pay attention to and see like background gags or whatever. Or you could just put it on while you're conked out on the... I will go into this. While you're half conked out after work. Am I walking into the spikes? I yearn for the spikes. The children yearn for the mines, and I yearn for the spikes, damn it. But yes, I don't feel like there's a whole lot of TV that, like, network TV that people care about nowadays. It's all just, like, reality TV and the same sort of stuff. I would like Black Candle. Okay, well, I guess I'm blowing that up. I would like Black Candle. Might as well buy a bomb, too. Curse immunity? Good enough for me. I would say maybe Brooklyn Nine-Nine is the most recent example of that I can think of. What else has Andy Samberg been in other than that recently? I don't recall. I'm not exactly the prime audience for TV like that, though. I have a big, beautiful fly blowing me up. I have not watched a lot of TV shows for a long time. I watched movies and like Netflix and stuff, but there was just so much crap on there that I was completely uninterested in, that I just, that's when I tuned into to YouTube, because I was like, oh, I can find new content way easier, and I can just find somebody that I like that makes it, and they put it out frequently enough that it's not a big deal. I can always be finding new stuff. I can get home from school and find more stuff. It's taking damage. Please, stop. Isaac, he's very sick. Isaac, he's full of holes. But yes, YouTube really changed how a lot of people like view media. Because like there's some absolutely phenomenal YouTube produced sort of shows and like sketch comedy. And people can just like make their living off of it now, which is crazy. Before it was like, okay, are you gonna get lucky enough to get a big break in Hollywood or like New York maybe? You have to get famous in another way before you could even consider the possibility of getting famous just by doing what you want to do. I mean, just look at Mr. Beast. I don't really like the guy. I don't really like the guy. I think he's morally bankrupt. I feel like what he does is exploitative and is not something that we need to continue to watch. Because it's one thing if it's fiction, it's another thing to be like, oh, this work of fiction, what if we made it reality? Yeah, Squid Game. What if Squid Game was real? I don't know, isn't the whole point of that show like, hey, Squid Game bad? The idea of paying people to like die or don't create the torment nexus. Exactly. It's exactly don't create the torment nexus. And then big name YouTuber says, but what if I created the torment nexus for views? For ad revenue? Don't you love creating the torment nexus together, guys? But yes, I find Mr. Beast very morally bankrupt in, at least I don't know what he's doing now, but in the content that I've seen of his is just him being like, what if I put this person in a terrible situation for 30 days? Like, sure, I hope that person makes enough money that they don't need to worry about finances for a while. But that is exploitative, right? That's just what that is. I'm taking advantage of somebody's need for money, and I'm using them and that to make more money for myself. Ooh, magic mushroom, yes please. That's the damage upgrade we needed. But yeah, I don't think that Mr. Beast, everything I know about that guy is just he sucks. And cares only about money, which is not what life is about. And that really bothers me because it's just like he is everything that I think YouTube should not be. And that We should not be just taking advantage of people. It should be the platform, or at least it should. I mean, if there was a YouTube alternative, I think it would have stuck around by now, but I don't think we're. I think YouTube is just so ingrained in the culture at this point that I don't think people are getting off of YouTube anytime soon, to say the least. Which it's a self-fulfilling prophecy of like, yeah, I could try out these other platforms that are better for creators, but if there's the creators, I hope the internet explodes. That's kind of how I'm feeling. I want a little bit more from life than just the internet, and I feel like we're going the opposite direction. I grew up in the Homestar Runner, like Web 2.0 type feel, the Flash era. Grew up playing a lot of what is it called? Addicting games, the armor games stuff. That reminds me, my grandmother, who was addicted to opioids for a very long time, like far longer than I've been alive, kind of long time. She was addicted to opioids for a very long time, and she, I told her that I liked playing video games, and like, oh, I've been playing on a website called addictinggames.com, and she got very serious and was like, I don't think you understand what addiction is. And I was like, no, Bozo has appeared in the basement. Let's go. No, I'm just playing video games. Does it really matter? This is the same grandma that I tried to get her to buy me KOTOR 2 for my birthday. And she said it was rated, I think I was 12. And she said because it was rated T for teen, I could not have it. So really a woman of multitudes. The gift that rip grandma. Yeah, she's dead now. She was a terrible human being. She was the kind of person that when she died, the next funeral I went to, uh, she like the plot was next to them. Uh, her plot was next to them. People were like, "Is it okay if we just put a towel over her gravestone and have people sit on it because there's not enough space under the pavilion?" And her own daughter and everybody like related to her in that instance was like, yeah, yeah, I think it's okay. I think it's okay to to cover up her grave. All I'm gonna say is, when I die, I hope that people do not treat me like that or talk of me like that. Generally, I'm sure there are some people that will be like, "Yippee! Yippee! They're dead." But that's just kind of how life is, huh? I'm trying to be a better person than I was, and try and prevent that from happening as much as possible, ideally. But it's okay. What do I care? I'm dead. Oh no! Oh no, I'm dead, and now where my body is being covered up. Who cares? I don't. Put me in the compost bin. That's what I want. Feed me to the flowers. Put a tree in my chest cavity. Make something beautiful from my corpse. That's my ideal. Y'all think about what you want your body to be be done with your body when you die. I just think of that It's Always Sunny's sketch where it's Frank saying, just throw me in the trash, pressed into a record. That'd be pretty cool. Put caramel dancing on me. Hell yes. I That would be kind of fun. Just press me into a record that has like 6 of my favorite songs on it. Just imagining somebody being like, "Hey, what's this record?" "Oh, it's Grandpa." What kind of what stuff does Grandpa have engraved into them? "Oh, 100 gex." 100 gex, Caramel Dancing, the Dota song. There's a whole lot of EDM, really. It made it. It's kind of weird to play that on vinyl. Poor Grandpa. He never. He never got to listen to his own record. Although it would be sick as hell to have like a funeral and be pressed into a record and then have that funeral play you. And if it's all dance music, hey, what are you gonna do but dance? Yeah, turn my my death into a rave, please. I want uh I want my kids dropping Molly. I want my 30-year-old kids dropping Molly while listening to their parent. That's I'm sorry, that's too amusing to me. I can't stop. I can't stop thinking about it. Just the idea of everybody showing up to your funeral in brave gear. Like what's the guy? Techno Viking? The meme video of the like 6 foot tall Scandinavian guy. Probably taller than 6 feet, let's be real. The tall ass Scandinavian guy. Techno Viking showing up to my funeral. Now that would be stuff of legends. I want everybody to just sorry, I just imagined being like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Just play Grandpa, but mix like one reggae song on the EDM record. It's like some pass the weed type shit. That would crack me up. I hope that we can do stuff like that more in the future. I hope that enough people are like, yeah, fuck it, whatever. I'm dead. Let's make it fun. I would I would love that, actually. I want to show up to more funerals where people offer to sell me coke. Offer to sell me coke in the bathroom. Maybe not those kinds of. Maybe I don't want to be attending those kinds of funerals. Actually, then again, I discussed it yesterday. I don't think I'm. Was it yesterday? I discussed it recently. where I was like, yeah, I don't think I'm built for cocaine. May have been earlier in this session actually. I'm not built for cocaine. Stimulants mess me up. I can barely handle caffeine. I don't need the stimulant. Although I'm just imagining a variety of instances where I would say yes to that. I don't think I would in very many at all, actually. I don't think I don't think I'm a raver. I think I'm more of a relax and chill out kind of gamer. I'll just hang out. Y'all can do that whatever. Just don't trap me in a corner with Tarantino and Paul Thomas Anderson. That's not my ideal. My ideal is a night in, listening to smooth jazz, drinking a glass of whiskey, smoking a cigar. Because that's classy. I own 17 trilbies. Yes, I am very cool. I mean, there's nothing inherently cool about drinking whiskey or smoking cigars. It's an it's a cultivated aesthetic of quote unquote classiness. Yes, I'm classy. I partake in behaviors that are for rich people. That's what classiness is, right? I spend my I spend large amounts of money on things that I don't need, on my vices, which is fine in my eyes at least. I don't think it's a huge deal, but we should recognize where that's coming from, and it's coming from people that have a lot of money trying to gatekeep a lot of things. Oh, I'm better than the poors. I participate in cribbage on the weekend with me and my close companions. We play water polo. It's really inconvenient when the horses drown. This is a joke stolen from something else that I cannot remember. Straight up plagiarizing jokes now. I think this is going to be the last round of the day because of that. Not because I'm plagiarizing jokes, but because I'm running on empty. Plagiarizing jokes? Sign me up. It's the whole somebody tells the same joke as you but louder instance. I actually had somebody do that to me in high school. I'd half muttered a joke to the guy because I was very shy, the guy next to me, and he was not. I don't remember what the joke was because obviously it was not. The joke obviously wasn't that good if I wasn't saying it with my whole chest. That and like I don't think I was ready mentally to be able to interact with people on a larger scale. I was a little bit socially stunted. But I don't think like in retrospect I'm like whatever. Kind of sucks that he stole the joke, but he did like that's the thing. He was kind of a more popular kid. He stole the joke, but he looked at me and like gave me a nudge and a wink, being like, "Hey, your joke was funny. See? Say it with your whole chest next time, maybe." Which I think is kind of the vibe that I needed. I needed more encouragement. as a youth. Nothing wrong with uplifting your peers. But it is funny that it's just like stock standard meme of like, oh, when the other kid steals your joke. Hey, at least your joke's funny enough that other people are interested. That's where I land on that. I don't need a ton of recognition. I would like a little bit, but in that instance, it was more than enough for me. Everybody would like to be recognized for what they do, right? It's why we do the things we do. A little bit of ego. I mean, ideally, not too much. I just want to feel good about what I do. That's kind of where my ego lies. I don't want to be stuck doing things that I hate for the rest of my life. That's society, though, apparently. Oh, that's another Isaac run in the books, though. I'm happy about that. Blue baby! Blue baby. It's been so long since I've seen that. You've unlocked the blue womb. The bloom. Alright, well that's gonna be Isaac for today. Let's slash raid. Slash raid. Raid is okay. That's the stream for today. We'll just move on over. Goodbye.